Good morning, GSU. My name is Lawrence Algee,
I'm Tavion Bonner.
and we're here at Russell Ian Rotunda, and we're here to talk about Shazam. Now, if you join us tomorrow, you'll be able to see the Inner Circle talk about Shazam as well. And for those of you that don't know, Shazam is a magical hero known as Earth's mightiest mortal. Why? Well, because Shazam actually has the power of, Shazam, 6 different gods put together as one, in one little human boy. He's 15 years old, but with the power of the name Shazam, he turned into, I don't know, like a 30-year-old?
Yeah, about 30. Well, technically, I believe Shazam's a couple thousand years old, but
Yeah, a couple
he
thousand
looks
years.
about 30.
So, with Shazam, it's a different tone for the DCEU. I mean, let's see, when we started, we had Man of Steel. And, I mean, everyone remembers that when Superman snapped Zod's neck. That was a big thing. Then we had Batman vs. Superman, and everybody was talking about how Batman's killing people. Superman was never smiling, because the dude was just... Superman was so depressed. I don't know why.
That movie should have gone in a different direction. than it
Probably,
really did.
probably should have. And then we had Justice League. And honestly, Justice League, in my opinion, was not a horrible movie. I mean, it was kind of cheesy in some areas, but it wasn't bad as most people were talking about. I mean,
It wasn't a bad movie. They could have used a better villain.
Yeah.
The villain is pretty bad, but I believe he could have been a little bit better. Then this honestly could have just left Superman out of it. It'd been a way better movie.
True. Hot take. Take off your Marvel goggles, compare Avengers 1 and Justice League, and I promise you, the plot in Justice League makes a little more sense. It's a little better. Like, if you actually just rewatch both of those movies, and if you seriously think about them as movies and don't compare the fact that, oh my god, it's Marvel, Iron Man, Captain America, it's a good movie, but it's not better than Justice League. They're about the same, if not Justice League is a little better. But that's my opinion.
As far as story goes, I honestly have to agree because their story's right there, but their story's contained within that movie. Marvel's going for a more overall theme with theirs. They're just trying to introduce us to their characters and what the possibilities they could have for the future. As for DC, they're just going for, here are our characters, y'all have seen them, and some of them y'all going to see more of in the future, but it's them going against the big bad villain. And from there, we really don't know where they're going with it.
And honestly, I will say that I like that they did the team-up movie before they did the quote-unquote origin movies. I thought that was kind of cool, to be honest. I don't know. It's different from Marvel, where it's like, oh, yay, now we know who these guys are. Now we gotta wait 5 years to see them ever come together. But we got to see them to come together first, and it's like, okay, we see these cool people that we know of. We've heard of them before, but they're different from anything we've seen. In case of Aquaman, who everyone hates, but Aquaman is actually one of my all-time favorite superheroes. They did him great. I was so happy. But anyway, that's beside the point. But I mean, I thought it was different. It definitely set them apart from Marvel. And honestly, I think it worked a little. I think it could have worked. I think it works better, but they still could have done it better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They did do it. I like the way that they did that with having the big movie, with them going against the villain, having it come together, go against the villain, then going to the backstories of them. Because that way we can get the big shock factor and they don't have to wait all that time to see them all come together and work together. And once again, they could have done it better. Once again, Aquaman is actually one of the better heroes of DC, but he's so downplayed thanks to that old cartoon that they made of him, which honestly should be right from the records altogether.
Oh God, yes, please, somebody do it.
My ability to talk with fish is of no help, Wonder Woman.
Somebody please do it. Speaking of Aquaman, the Aquaman movie did very, very well. Wonder Woman did very well, Aquaman did very well, and the way that DC is looking right now, Aquaman and Wonder Woman might be the only things they have. Shazam, we will see tomorrow with Shazam, but the way things are looking now, I mean, Ezra Miller is out. He is no longer Flash. He's gone.
I saw that coming.
I did too. I saw that coming. Ben Affleck, gone.
Saw that coming.
What's Superman's real name?
No clue, but saw it coming.
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill, gone. He's gone. The only people left is Cyborg, and honestly, I don't. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Cyborg is not happening. The only reason Cyborg would happen is because of Black Panther, in all honesty. Let's be honest. The only reason that they would make a Cyborg movie is just so that they have something to say, yeah.
White power!
Yeah.
Honestly, if they want to do that, there's a couple other superheroes I'd rather see other than Cyborg. I love Cyborg, but I'd rather see
Superman.
versions of Green Lantern.
John Stewart.
Green
Give me
Lantern.
John Stewart. Give me Black Lightning. I need
Black Lightning,
Black Lightning.
Static Shock. I'd rather see those three before I see a Cyborg get his own movie.
Just want to say, because I just think it's an interesting fact, Black Lightning is one of the only characters I've ever seen Batman go up to and just be like, look, I need you. Batman. The man with a plan. The man who pretty much beats everybody went to Black Lightning and said, I need you. And why? To fight Superman. This is an injustice, but it happened. Black Lightning, come on.
I mean, if for slash spoiler alerts for Young Justice Season 3, if you haven't seen it, the Robin that becomes Nightwing, Dick Grayson, does the same thing. He goes up to the man like, yo, need you.
If that doesn't tell you how amazing this character is, honestly, you're stupid. That's all I gotta say. But Shazam, let's talk about how we think Shazam is gonna go. The trailers make it look kind of like Aquaman, where it's more comedic. It's got more of a campy, kind of corny feel to it. A little more so than Aquaman, honestly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it looks interesting with the villain. I don't know much about this villain. I've read a couple things beforehand because I was like, oh, cool, Shazam. Let me learn more before I see the movie, because I love to learn about these characters before the movies come out, just so I can see the movie and see, okay, what's different? What's the same? And he's... I don't know. Actually, this might be a spoiler for the movie, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but... I don't know. I'm very interested to see what they do with him, because, I mean, honestly, everyone thought they were going to use Black Adam with The Rock. I mean, before Shazam was even cast, they cast Black Adam, who, if you don't know anything about Shazam, Black Adam is Shazam's big bad. He is what the Joker is to Batman, what Lex Luthor is to Superman, that's what Black Adam is to Shazam. So everybody thought we were going to see The Rock in the movie, just to find out he's not in it. He's getting his own movie. So... how are they gonna tie? Are they gonna even mention him? Is he gonna show up at the end? Nobody knows, but we can only hope. What do you think?
I would say it's interesting concept. I like the realism that they, with the cinematography from the trailers. When it turns out to more cartoonish style, that's where I start to fall off, and that's what I'm worried about with DC doing. And hopefully they don't do it too much where it ruins the movie. Hopefully they can do the right balance if they do go that cartoonish route. And with Shazam, only real things I know about it is from the animated series when he was on Justice League Unlimited and a couple of movies that he's in. But other than that, I don't really know much about Shazam besides his powers. But they've casted wonderfully for Wonder Woman. Did a good job casting for Aquaman. Hopefully this casting was good as well, and they can prove it once the movie is out and is shown. So I have some hopes for this movie, because the last two that they've done with characters by themselves have been good.
I will say this. When it comes to comic accurate suits, Shazam has got the most comic accurate. Honestly. Everyone else is kind of inspired by comics. Batman's was kind of taken from Dark Knight Rises or Returns or whatever the comic series is. But Shazam, that's straight comic. That is straight comic. I mean, they gave Aquaman his suit at the end, but still, Shazam, straight comics, and I love it. Honestly, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I would say that's why I feel like this one's a little bit more cartoonish, because they did pull his from straight comics.
Yeah. And I can see it. Plus, the whole story with, I mean, if you don't know, he's really a kid. Like, I think we said that. So, obviously, it's going to be a little cartoonish because they're going to obviously have to show him as a kid sometimes and acting like a kid. But, if they play the cards right, could be good.
White power!
Well, thank you for joining us. This has been fun. I hope you go out and see Shazam. And if you don't, at least watch The Inner Circle and see what we think of it.
Yeah, and I won't be in this episode in the circle. It will be Lawrence, Tyler, and Brandon.
So, come join us. I'm Lawrence Algee.
Tavion Bonner.
And you've been with the studio.